Hi, everybody. This is Brian Powers from New Jersey Revolution Radio Live. I'm really happy to be here for a special report with a comrade who has joined us a number of times from a bunch of different organizations, but the one I think most of us know her best from is the Newark Water Coalition, a grassroots group of people that have done more than just help the people of Newark advance the cause of getting clean water, even though we all know that it's still a struggle, right, comrade?
Still a struggle.
Still a struggle, but the struggle goes on, and it is thanks to my guest here today, Sabre, and many of her comrades. How are you, Sabre? It's great to see you again.
Peace. Happy Friday. Working to stay aligned during all of the changes that are happening, some better and others of them a little unnerving. But I'm good. Today's good. How are you?
I'm glad you're in a good mood, and I think it has been a mixed bag for everybody in the scene, right? And I know for me personally, I spent a lot of time on social media, a lot of at home base in the back cave, trying to take in the different streams, and I mean all over the country. So I've been up and down. How you personally been dealing? I know there's been stress. I mean, there's been obvious stress, sadness. There's been all these emotions. How have you been coping with that stress as an activist over the past few weeks?
To be honest, the best way that I've been coping with this is I know a lot of people are in like Zoom meetings and group chats. What I've been doing is meeting with people personally, kind of one-on-one in my backyard. I have a garden. So, I've been having little garden parties, where, people can get together and, safely, socially distanced and, plant tomatoes and talk about what's really going on. Because right now, when so much is happening, I feel like a lot of people who activate and mobilize, they feel almost guilty for resting, and a lot of us have not been the kindest to ourselves during this time because we feel the urgency of what needs to be happening and what we need to be doing. And, I'm a vegan nutritionist. I'm very concerned about all the young activists specifically who are exhausting themselves and with great cause and great purpose, but there's no movement, there's no revolution without a you in it, so I've been, making sure that people remember that. And so that's how I've been keeping sane, is kind of creating a light for myself and spreading it to the people doing the work.
It's hard to keep up with everybody because we all, we're in a bubble and we're in this information bubble on social media, and we see everybody working hard. I see, people that, I may have been in more contact with, and I just, you can't PM as much anymore because people are in the streets. And then there's the other side of it. People aren't going out because of COVID. And I was on a call the other night where, we're approaching, I'm doing some activist calls and recruitment stuff, you've been there, right? So we're talking about the approach on it. And, we were careful to say, listen, we're grateful for the people being out in the streets, and it needs to happen. And this is just a revolutionary moment. Corey from Patterson said, listen, white supremacy kills people and has been killing people in this country for hundreds of years. So yes, it's COVID. And yes, it's resulting, I think, in probably more infections and stuff like that. But safety is a real concern. And if you want to be home being safe, I really can't be critical of that at this point.
1,000%. Everybody has a role to play.
Yeah. How have you felt? I know I went to Asbury. So I've been to about 3 or 4 now. I went to Asbury. Most of them had social distancing. It was all related to how the police treated the crowd. Ooh. If the police were penning us in, then we had to get close and there was no social distancing.
Right.
If the police have been present at all these events, but in other locations where they backed off, we were able to social distance. And I was even able to kind of work through the crowd a little bit with the camera and feel kind of safe and not, and then I would Lysol myself right afterwards because it's nerve-wracking.
It is.
So we're going to talk a little bit about this march coming up and behind it, but I have addressed safety with almost everybody. How have you been mindful of your own safety? And when you're organizing, what are you talking to activists about, social distancing, masks, what else is going on?
So what I've suggested for people is to wear the full face shield. Staples sells them for like $5. You can find them in most of I don't know, where I have bodegas where I am, and in most of the bodegas, they sell, it's kind of like a visor. You sit on your head and it has the full face shield. Mm-hmm. And I think that's most effective because when you're out and you're yelling and talking and breathing heavy and everything like that, you don't want to pass out, you don't want to be hurting out there. So I think the full face shield covers the eyes, it covers the nose, it covers the mouth, and those are all of the vulnerable spaces of, contraction. So I've just been suggesting that people get the full face shield. If you're paying $5 to $10 for a pack of masks, might as well pay the $5 for the shield and wash it every day.
If you see me at a protest, I have a can of Lysol in my pocket and I will spray it down with it. I'm serious. I mean, it was bad. In Asbury, it was bad because the pigs came up and then the line came up behind me. And I was yelling at the cops. If you look at the stream, I'm trying to back the cops off a little bit and stop them from doing whatever it is the hell they were planning on doing, quite frankly. And then, but I didn't notice because I was paying attention to the line of cops that the whole protest lined up behind me. And before I knew it, I was shoulder to shoulder. And it bothered. And I gotta admit, it was like, this ain't safe. This COVID's out there. So I want people, what you can, listen, first off, the pigs need to leave us the hell alone and stop suiting up in riot gear as if there's something going on. They don't need to be there. Take the day off. Go pet a dog, for the love of God. You can do something else, all right?
The parks are open.
Anything, right? Weed is legal, and it's fucking great for PTSD. Come on over. I'll show you. There's a good strain out there in some of the dispensaries, right? But so there's plenty of things for police, but really when they've backed off and it's been safe. And so I appreciate, but I think us as activists and organizers, we have a responsibility to the people that are out there and risking life, whether it be from police violence or from this COVID thing or from capitalism and white supremacy in general. You know, I hope that we're getting that message out there. So I thank you.
Definitely. And I have one of those huge, like, kindergarten teacher room size hand sanitizers. So when I'm out, like today, I'll have an art cart. So you'll see me, I'll have my art cart. It'll have a huge hand sanitizer on both sides, you know? So really all you can do is shield your face and wash your hands, you know?
And if you can give yourself some distance, look around yourself when you're at the protest and just body language that you can give somebody a look, you know, like you're a little too close, just kind of move around, you know, like, you know, just give him, it's all right. It's friendly. All right. There's no reason to get a stick and poke him with it. But I think, you know, just like we all got to be personally mindful of what we're doing during these things.
Agreed. I mean, I think you're completely right about that. People need to be safe because even if you, and you know the COVID stuff, even if you do not feel ill, even if you are in great health, you can be a carrier and you're, you know, a lot of people live with other people. So if you're coming out and you go home, you want to make sure that you're actually maybe changing your clothes. Maybe you shower when you get in. Maybe you're making sure that you're staying hydrated. Just keep your body well. You know, keep your body well. Operate under the assumption that maybe you already have been exposed and just drink water, eat well, rest, and, you know, eat some vegetables every now and again.
There you go. It's been a rough 2 weeks for me since Asbury because I've been doing that. I've been staying away from my wife and kids just for that reason. So I understand.
Yeah,
let's get into a mutual aid march, though. Enough safety lectures from the old union guy. So I saw that we got a ton of marches going on today. Black Lives Matter, racial justice. Some of it's co-opted by Democrats, and it's just a fucking joke. Others of it is very serious grassroots stuff. We've seen violent counter protests like the one in Franklin. So it's been like this huge mixed bag. But from the Newark Water Coalition and my creative comrades out of Essex County comes a mutual aid march. So what's going on? What is a mutual aid march? Why are we doing this now?
Okay, so you've been to marches. I've been to marches. Some of them are for information. Some of them are for visibility. Others of them are for solidarity. Well, all of them are for solidarity. But I notice a lot of times when I leave a march, I kind of am lacking homework. You know, I kind of have this space where I'm with these people and I have this energy and we're in this moment. And then I'm I'm enlivened. And then I leave and who am I talking to? Who has texted me? Who has reached out to me? Where do we go next? What do we do next? What's the next thing? And so what I realized is that for right now, specifically, while unemployment is as high as it is, while the cities are still opening, not opening, people doing what they need, people need resources. So people need water still. People need diapers and baby formula. People need to know where in their community they can find these resources. Where are the food pantries? Where are the seed banks? Where are the places that give out this type of material? And so we thought that it was really important at a time where the summer is about to get hot. People don't have any money. Okay. We know what a hot summer looks like when people are pushed in. We know what Newark looked like in the 60s when it was a hot summer and people didn't have resources and they were being antagonized by the police. So we decided, hey, let's be preemptive here, right? Let's tell people where they can find the resources so that poverty doesn't continue to breed violence, because that's what it is. If people don't have it, they're going to get it. And so right now, where people are out of work and kind of getting back to work, kind of not having what they need, let's provide people with food, water, baby products, and the places where they can go in this community to get them. So we have a few different farmers, urban farmers in the area who are going to come out and table and put some veggies up and say, hey, we're over here. You guys can come help. You can come get some seeds. You can come get some saplings. You know, you can pick up some if you want to start a garden, because I feel like the community really, we can't be timid about needing each other right now. And I think a protest is a way of showing solidarity. I think that next step is showing solidarity after the protest, right? So you and I came to this protest, us six, we all got vegetables from this farmer over here. You live in that area, I live in that area. Let's go volunteer some hours over there sometime so we can get vegetables. You know what I mean? And so this is the point, because communities have to support each other. It's not enough for us to be yelling at the cops, hey, stop killing us. We need to regulate within ourselves. You need to know your neighbors. Right now is an imperative time to know the real names and the real phone numbers of your neighbors and what they need.
Yeah.
Because if you're
organizing, it's organizing. That's grassroots organizing. Is I think, and because there's a lot of people that don't know protest paying attention or in getting involved. Thank God, right? Isn't that beautiful to see people raising awareness? But they don't know. They think it's a march in the street still. They think it's a sign. They think that the politician explaining to them that Joe Biden's going to fix everything in November is the right way to go. And yeah, and we know, but we're educated, Sabre. Like we've paid, and let's face it, this is America, and they elected Donald Trump as president. It's not the smartest group of people sometimes, and so it's these things that are going on in the streets and the new attention that we're getting. This is what we got to turn it into. And I didn't see the mutual aid thing getting tied into it until I saw it coming from the Newark Water Coalition. So it's beautiful. It's starting at a high school at 2 p.m. I'm looking at the flyer right now, University High School, 55 Clinton Place in Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
2 p.m. Have the youth been involved in organizing this and getting off the ground?
They have been amazing. Let me tell you, we have some high school students who have put together some infographics for us, and they are amazing. They did the research. They put together the infographics. They had them back in like 2 days. So I'm very excited. We have some teachers coming out, teachers who are teachers in Newark. So it's gonna be a nice little motley crew of people, But the idea is to start at a high school. And did you have any more information? I want to know.
What's that? Oh, do you want me? I just read your flyer. That's all I did.
Yeah, so it starts at the high school, and the concept is to bring out people in the communities all the way from where we start to where we end. What's going on? I hear music, I see bubbles, I hear people partying. What's going on? They having a block party out there? Yes, please, and come get some vegetables and see where your food banks are so that you're not, struggling this summer.
So I asked about the youth. Let me ask about the older activists. You're younger, I'm middle-aged, and there's people that have been around. You mentioned the 60s. You mentioned the Newark riots. And I still hear stories in my family from obviously I come from a white family, but there's perspectives all over. Newark left scars around our state. Me and you weren't around for them. But what have you learned from the people that were around from them? You mentioned them, so obviously you've been talking about it. What are the lessons you've taken away?
Well, some of the people in our executive board are actually, we're here and alive and living through when the Newark Rebellion happened. And so they're going to be tabling for us. What they did was they did a phone bank for us. So they called so many people to tell them to come out. And I think that's a huge thing. It's like older people, I don't mean to make a generalization, but they will talk on the phone for a while.
Y'all are scheduling calls and texting to schedule a PM to schedule a call. That's not even that old. I'm 43. There was a day and age, believe it or not, where you just picked up the phone and you called somebody and the person on the other end of the phone answered it all the time.
So that's what we've been having the older people do. They're not really wanting to be out, and I understand because, like you said, safety precautions. Yeah. But you give them a phone list, and they're charming. They know all the things.
No, it's great to hear.
Yeah. So that's how they've been involved for sure.
Yeah. And they got the gift of gab already because you can't beat them. They ask a question and they don't need a script. They lived it. They lived it, right? So
they've been the wisdom for this organization. You guys want to do that? Well, I remember in '84 when, so it's like, okay, thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, we all have mentors and we've all been passed along stuff. So I think it's great that you've got this mix. I think, this interview has been a really great one to give people an idea of what the Newark Water Coalition has really been about. I've known you guys, since you started up and been just following in awe, more or less, right? I mean, and I'm happy to be part of it. I don't think I'm going to be able to get there till later today. My wife's got to work late. And I haven't gotten enough donations from gas money, everybody. I'm just saying. Gas money, and you can give money to mutual aid, but if you enjoy independent media, please help us out. I know listen, I just talked to a friend this morning, everybody lost their job. 40 million people are out of work. I understand, but if you can afford it, give it to a good cause. And I think New Jersey Revolution Radio is just one of them.
Hands down.
Yeah, Sabre, before we let you go, because I know you got a huge day. It's an organizing, it's that you got that going on. So I know you're falling behind every second I keep you on the live stream. I really do appreciate the time. Let's give you a last chance. Let people know where you're at, how they can join the protest, or if they can't be there today, how can they support your work?
Okay, so this is Sabre Bee of the Newark Water Coalition. You can always check us out, www.newarkwatercoalition.com. You can check us out on Instagram or Twitter, which is Clean Water, 4, Newark. And if you follow those posts, you'll know exactly how to help. But we're still having a live water crisis in Newark. So families still need water, they still need pitchers, and they still need filters. So contact us and meet us at University High today in Newark at 2 p.m. to start the mutual aid march.
That's right. And this is Brian Powers. I am just honored to see Sabre every time I see her. Get out there and support them. Support independent media. Support the activists in the streets. Tons of community groups going. Let's start focusing on what happens after these marches or where these marches are going. Mutual aid marches, that ain't the least of our creativity here in the Garden State. I know that. We can get it going better. Until next Wednesday, or maybe before then, Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., we join you live every week. This is Brian Powers, and I want to remind everybody that the police can quit their jobs.
Yes.
Have a good night.